Keep the good times poppin', pop, pop, pop.
All right. So all the characters are named. So it feels like a really small world. There's no like bad guy soldier, generic guy that you can get 10 of and just kill them all. You have no good guy soldiers that you can just get 10 of.
I think there is one generic villain.
Really?
I think there's one. I believe it was listed in the instructions for the computer game.
Okay. So swapping heads and things would be really interesting. What's I think really interesting about this one is our attempts to connect the lore. The heraldry of King Leo can be connected to past knights. Cedric's armor suggests that perhaps they could have once been Dragon Masters, which would be really cool. Like they're washed up Dragon Masters. And Gilbert the Bad looks like he's a previous Dark Forest member and he stole a helmet or something.
I'm thinking Wolfpack.
Wolfpack? Yeah. I'm just thinking that green collar.
That's true. Yeah, the villains in this are an odd blend of evil forest men and dragon masters.
Yeah.
Because in the opening video for the computer game, they're in the woods building their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't have a
there
fortress.
are only two places in this.
It's either the forest or the castle.
Well, I was gonna say it's that one tower that came with King Leo, or it's like just a few towers
Just
and
sprinkled
the
throughout
castle.
the land.
Just a couple towers.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, this castle. None of the towers are useful whatsoever. And that portcullis, to get it up, you just gotta kind of like reach down in there, pinch it, pull it up, and like tilt the flag back.
Yeah, this is not incredibly well thought through. It's really
Impossible to
unfortunate.
use for minifigures. They can't raise the drawbridge. You could. They cannot. Bad drawbridge design.
Bad drawbridge design. Bad portcullis design.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, without further ado, let's
dive
in. Yeah. All right. The shape of the castle. It's very odd. Sorry, we're probably going to be commenting a lot on aesthetic choices and the like.
Because it
for
seems
this
most of the choices were fairly aesthetically motivated. You've got a nice concentric design to the castle, not put to great effect, but you've got like 4 distinct heights you could talk about.
Right.
That's cool.
Let's kick it off with accessibility. We have some inaccessible arrow loops. So
Problem
those
with the pieces.
Right, those new rounded arrow loop semi-tower thingies. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like those could be too high, perhaps, as well. But the inside footing of those towers is a full stud off of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, we can test that.
Could be an adequate height, but it still uses dark gray
It does
versions
still
of the
use those.
inaccessible piece.
Yes. So,
Not that they're in a great position anyway, but
yeah. We have an inaccessible second level, inaccessible third level, inaccessible fourth level, and an inaccessible cellar. Unless you're an attacking enemy. Then you can just walk right underneath.
all the undermining is already done for this castle. They should just stop spending their gunpowder on the cannons and just kind of get a couple barrels down there and no one's the wiser.
Right. The choices that you have are either drawbridge down, you can walk right up into castle, or drawbridge up, you can walk underneath castle.
Mm-hmm. Not good choices.
We have some inaccessible towers. There's no winch for that drawbridge and no winch for the portcullis. As we had mentioned, you have to manually operate everything. And to top that all off, we have a very incomplete circuit.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are some living quarters. There's various spaces here. It's
The
a nice
throne room.
throne room. I think it would look really awesome to walk in there, up the bridge. There you are, greeted by the king and the lion behind him. the massive tapestry that serves as a wall for this castle.
Yes. We also have an arsenal. There's various things around the castle that you can use to fight people.
Swords
Some might
on
call
the
those, weapons.
some implements of destruction, swords.
Destructo bricks.
Oh, absolutely, destructo bricks aplenty. Swords, crossbows affixed throughout the place. Some nice ballistae.
Accessibility, -9, +2. Net, -7.
Ooh.
Ow. Let's move on to defensibility.
Now this is where this castle really shines in a bad way.
In the worst way.
Stands out.
We have a lack of walls.
There's a lot of holes. There's lots of inadequate crenellations and not a lot of like walls. It's
Quite unfortunate.
very unfortunate.
There's some pointless towers where they don't add a real advantage to their being there.
That tower up top, towers are supposed to add height and visibility. That does neither of those. It's basically just adequate crenellation height with a little roof on top.
We have some overhangs. I mean, you can't see any of the knights that might be undermining you.
Yeah.
Blind spots goes along with overhangs. And that curtain or tapestry back there, flammable. You have a flammable wall. Not to mention we have open flames in several places around this castle.
Very confusing places that it's a frivolous expenditure of burnables.
Yes.
Those torches.
Especially when it is still daytime.
Yep. And on either side of a window on the outside.
Yes. The drawbridge does not seal.
Even if somehow through some fantastic feat of strength from John of Maine, you could get that drawbridge up, it's still got holes on either side. It's not wide enough to actually seal.
Right. And even if you had it folded all the way up, I'm sure you could have somebody standing underneath and shooting arrows through that gap.
Maybe you could consider that a murder hole against your underminers.
Possibly.
Not
Possibly.
good enough. It's possible. We can assume a moat. The drawbridge reaches just slightly beyond, so it would be a bit more of just like a ditch around. We could assume a ditch. That's kind of fun, which increases the high ground that this already possesses from being on a raised base plate.
Yay.
With those pushed out edges to keep siege machinery away. There's also a defensive skeleton.
Ah!
Look at him there. He's probably going to go breakdancing with the Royal Knight's drawbridge skeleton.
Oh, what if it's the same guy?
Oh, man, that would be...
Because they have a similar crest, the knights.
Oh, yeah.
It could be the same guy. But last time he didn't have a hat. Well,
Yeah.
except for that red baseball cap.
Oh, very cool.
Do you suppose he was flung from the catapult?
That's what it looks like.
Or he's just falling over the edge?
Maybe he was the generic bad guy, and they killed him.
No.
And they're throwing his corpse back.
Well, defensibility, -8, +5. Net, -3. We ain't doing so hot. On to offensibility. We have no machicolations, really anywhere. Maybe you could say that there's some implied, but even that, it's a little bit tough to say. We do have that catapult that we mentioned earlier. It's pretty cool.
Pretty good.
The swinging axe trap. Okay, so they have this table with this crystal. And they just leave it out, waiting for somebody to take it, so that way they can use a trap.
Just...
It's like a lure.
They want somebody to try and steal it, so they can kill him, is what it looks like.
Weird.
It's I think I'm kind of like on Cedric's side. I mean, he doesn't do that.
He is... We'll get to that. And we do have several ballistae throughout this here castle. Offensibility, -1. +3. Net, 2. Let's take a look at our total. Our initial total is -8.
onto our auxiliary graces. Yeah, so you shoot the cannon at the wall, and they have it set up so, like, if you hit it right, you get money.
Yay!
Woo! What's going on? Why would you ever do that? That's ridiculous. I'm
Even
sure
putting a person there would make more sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that they gave you treasure to put there, so that way if you destroy a wall, you automatically get treasure. Weird.
Further, there is a super inadequate garrison. Like, no way. 2 soldiers, a Princess Storm over there, and 1 cavalryman who is the king. Like, maybe Queen Leonara and her falcon could do some damage.
Brown parrot.
It's a brown attack parrot. Maybe. I don't know. But it's super inadequate. Even when only 2 people are attacking you. That may
have a
not be
cannon.
enough. They have a cannon.
They have a gunpowder weapon.
Yep.
On that note, it's kind of cool that we see a gunpowder weapon at this time, because it would have been seen.
Yeah, looking at the arms and armor from the series preceding this one, it would make sense that there would be cannons coming about. In fact, this cannon's a little late. Oh, these barbarians.
Our final total is -10. This castle does not pass.
So there you have it. King Leo's castle. I think that's our lowest score.
Did it beat out 90th?
Yeah,
I thought 90th had
90th
like...
was -9.
Let's do some research.
Back into the ancient annals.
Archives. 90th anniversary castle.
Oh man. Oh, -9, +11.
Oh, it ended up with a
13.
-6.
Wow, that's
This is
just
way
a bit worse than Night Lord's castle. This is significantly worse. It kind of deserves it. Like, the pieces you get, you could build a way better castle than what they give you.
You want to look at the B models?
Yeah. That could be fun. What have we got going on here?
Da-di-da.
Oh, okay.
Those are not.
I think it's better.
Those aren't B models. Here we are. Da-di-da.
Oh,
that
wow.
one is not okay. Never mind. That one is just as bad.
They kept the treasure catapult. I think it's a better use of the inaccessible arrow loop pieces to give you like a higher gatehouse.
Yes.
But very few
Why
problems
is it
have been
recessed
addressed.
in? Why is it not further forward? Because that's just the drawbridge and the gaps. It's move the gatehouse forward.
Is this our only B models? This is bad. This is bad, Patrick.
It was a time of experimentation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're encouraging creativity.
It's rampant experimentalism at the expense of continuity.
At the expense of having a good castle.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.